But joining us right now, the legend, the Canadian legend, the Hall of Famer, the guy with the $1 million smile, joining us from Minnesota, Alex Bunburry. Alex, welcome, my friend.
Anthony, oh man, thanks for having me again. How are you doing?
I'm very good. Pleasure is all mine. The first guy I thought of to have on to discuss this topic of Cyle Larin possibly going to Benfica or Sporting was Alex Bunburry. I'll never forget the days and watching you in some of the highlights with Maritimo. Let's talk about it. Let's go way back, Alex. Let's talk about your time in Portugal, on and off the field. What does this young man, Cyle Larin, have to look forward to if he ends up with Benfica and Sporting?
Well, first and foremost, they're two big clubs. They're obviously two of the biggest clubs in Portugal. And the passion that the folks have for the game in Portugal is second to none. They live, breathe, and eat football in Portugal. So that's something that he's gonna see right away. That's something that he will have to be able to handle, and I'm pretty sure he seems like a very mature and level-headed person and young man, I should say. So I'm very confident that he should be able to handle that.
Alex, let's talk about the language barrier. Obviously, there had to be some issues early on for you, and I'm sure after you got accustomed to it, everything was smooth. But talk about that issue, the language issue, especially in the locker room, especially in training.
Well, you know what's so funny, Anthony, is that soccer is an international game, and it's an international language. And for me, when I went to Portugal, on the island, a beautiful island of Madeira, we had administrators, we had people in the front office, and then some of the players spoke the language. And I think in Portugal, at least I know this, there are many players who are foreign players, and even the Portuguese players, they all speak English fairly well, and the coaching staff. So I don't think it's going to be as much of a problem that people might think of. And I think once he gets into the swing of things, give him a few months, he'll be able to communicate in the language and get used to the language. I don't think that's going to be a deterrent for him.
Alex, how did you gain the respect of your teammates, the coaching staff, once you made your way over there? Because Cyle Larin would also have these difficulties once he arrives there. People will look at him and say, well, he's just from MLS. He's a Canadian kid. What's he doing here? How did you gain their respect?
I gained their respect by playing the game. First and foremost, I gained the respect of the coaching staff and my teammates in practice, how I conducted myself, and how hard I worked at practice. And I think that won the folks over, my teammates over, I should say. And then I carry that on to the games. And I think your work ethics and how you play the game, that will win over the fans, and most importantly, it will win over your teammates. And if he has a great work ethics, and according to everyone that I've spoken to, he has just all of those qualities. And of course, you have to be personable, and you have to be able to articulate, I shouldn't say articulate, but you have to be able to live a certain lifestyle that people can respect and show the sense of decency and respect that you have for the country, for the game, and for the supporters. And once he does that, he'll be just fine.
Well, I'll tell you what, Alex, I've known this young man for a number of years, and it's in his fiber to never give up. It's in his fiber to work hard every day to prove people wrong. And he comes from a wonderful family, and I believe he will have success.